All right, you're all set.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mark Afonso from EasySoft. We mostly do real estate closing software. We specialize in New York. Our software works extremely well for bank attorneys. We do have a lot of banks and lenders that purchase our software as well. And depending on the state, we do have some title agencies, but we primarily make our software for attorneys. So I'm going to go through this PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to make this as painless as possible because we're pretty much just going to go over all this stuff in the demo when I show you the software. So we've been around for over 30 years. Actually, we're on our 35th year. Like I mentioned before, we do cater to New York attorneys. Um, Software is compliant. It's web based, so it always is compliant. We update everything on the back end. You don't have to take any time out of your day to update software, to download anything. You log in and everything is good to go. The software is designed to calculate calculations that are mostly on the closing disclosure and the HUD forms. We do provide additional documents within the software, which you'll see when I open up the software. And we do pride ourselves on being very affordable, very easy to use, portable, and we do offer free tech support from our New Jersey-based team. There are some companies out there that charge for tech support, and they charge startup costs and all kinds of installation fees. We don't have any of that. It is just one simple monthly payment of $69 per month. So now I'm going to get into the software. So these are all features that come in the software. But again, I'm going to go over these once we look at the open up the software. So here we go. So first thing you'll notice, as I mentioned before, is the software is web-based. So you would go on to the website, easysoftonline.com, and you would be able to log in. It does work on cell phones, tablets, computers, Mac, Windows, doesn't matter what it is. As long as you have internet connection, you will be able to log into your software and access your CDs and your HUDs anytime. So as soon as you log in, it brings you to this home screen. This is where all of your files are going to be organized. You'd be able to sort through them all, organize them by date. You can search through names. I'm going to pull up a CD. We'll go over a CD that has some information already saved in it. But if we're going to start a new closing, fresh closing, no information on it, you would click on this button here, new closing, and then you'd have the option to start a CD, a HUD, or a HUD 1A. The fourth option on here is a useful one. It's templates. So you can create CD and HUD templates, meaning that instead of starting a CD from scratch, blank, you can already have information preset in the CD or the HUD. And that way you can get a head start on the closing. So you can have transfer tax rates already saved in there. You can have the name of lenders already saved in the template. If you work with that lender a lot, or if you work in a certain area a lot, you can have the rates saved in there. So give you a little head start on your closing and save you some time. But like I said, we're going to open one up that already has some information. All you would do is click on any name that's on the line. You click on John Bob here, and it puts you straight into the CD. So it puts you straight onto page one of the CD. And first thing you'll notice on the top left here is that you can change the status. I know in New York, a lot of the closings start off on a preliminary stage, so you would be able to change the different stages of the CD right on this top left drop down here. Now on the right side, you'll see that it does home equity loans, construction loans, refinance, purchases. So between the CD and the HUD, you would be able to complete any closing that you encountered. In the middle section here, this is where you start to put in some contact information for some of the parties that are involved in the closing. All you would do is click on the notepads next to their title, and this pop up would appear. And once you put them in the first time, especially if they're a lender, if you think you're going to work with them again, you can actually just click this little checkbox here, and it would add them to the address book. That way, next time, instead of filling this out, you can just click on the little address book to the top right and pull their information from here. And so now, on that note, the lender, especially the lender, but the buyer, the lender, all these parties involved in the closing, they appear in the software multiple times, but you don't have to type their name in multiple times. You don't have to type any dates or numbers in multiple times. The software just knows where to put that information. So, for example, on page 5 of the CD, you have the lender's information. But as you saw, I just changed the name of the bank to Wells Fargo, and it put the name of the lender on page 5 as well. So there's no double entry. You never have to type the same thing in more than once. So now we're going to jump to page 2. Anytime you see these gray boxes in the software, these are the auto calculating boxes. This is the point of our software, is to really reduce errors, reduce time that you spend on a closing. And so doing the calculations is a big part of that. With the software, you're not going to get any mistakes, and you're going to save a lot of time because you don't have to go through all these tedious calculations that you would normally have to without software. So on page 2, this is where you have the loan costs. All these blue bars are drop downs. You click on them, they drop down. If you click on this little icon up here, it actually drops all of them down, so that way you don't have to click on each one individually. So now in each section, there are more drop downs. So if I click on this row, this little arrow here, it gives me a drop down menu of costs that would be common in the section B. And each section does change. The drop down does change to reflect what section you're working in. You'll see in section E, there is an icon here for the recording charges and transfer taxes. So again, if you know the rates, I would definitely put them in a template, so that way they're saved in here. You don't have to retype them in. And then this will calculate the transfer taxes for you and recording charges. So now we're going to jump over to page 3. So I normally speed up through page 3, 4, and 5 because it's mostly calculations. You're filling in all the white boxes, and all the gray boxes will take care of themselves. They'll do all the calculations for you. And so basically you're just form filling, putting in all the information the software is asking you for. And then on page 4, you mostly have disclosures, just a bunch of check boxes. You would just check off all the disclosures that would apply to this loan. And then on page 5, you have some more disclosures along with the contact information that you saw before. So now we'll go on to the ledger. This is definitely the most used feature in the software, especially in New York, where you can cut checks directly from the software. So as you can see, all the transactions that I put on my closing disclosure automatically show up in this ledger. They're itemized like you see here. And from the ledger, you can split checks, you can combine checks, and you can print checks. So for example, I can select 3 of these transactions, and if all 3 of them are going to one place, I can consolidate all 3 by clicking on combine checks. And vice versa. If there's one transaction that's showing up on here and I really need to split it up into 3 different payments, I can go ahead and split that one transaction up. You also have the option to print 2 styles of checks from the software. So you can select all the checks that you want to print and click print checks, and then you can go ahead and download the actual checks. So as you can see here, it downloads a PDF, and you would just load the printer up with the check paper and print. We also have integrations with Rhino and Cosmolex. Both of them handle trust accounting software. They basically provide the software along with a list of additional services that you get to choose from. They will even do the reconciliation for you. But they are not affiliated with us. They are separate companies, so you would have to set up separate accounts with them for this integration to even work. Now, the majority of our clients use this export button because the majority of our clients are using QuickBooks to do their own reconciliation and to electronically disperse any money. And so we built the software with this export button that lets you export this ledger as a CSV file or an XML file. So there are a lot of banking softwares, a lot of accounting softwares, and QuickBooks, for example, reads CSV files. So you can put this whole ledger straight into your accounting software, and then from there you can do everything else you have to do. It also prints ledger statements. I've heard many different terms for this, from closing statement to a transaction statement. We call it a closing ledger or ledger statement. But so it's just a form that has all the transactions on it with the signature lines at the bottom. So I do know a lot of New York attorneys like to use this form. So now we're gonna jump on. So that's the ledger. So now we're gonna jump on to real estate docs. This is a newer feature that we added into the software. Actually could be quite useful if you have documents. If you have a lot of documents that you find you're using the same 10 documents or 20 documents for all of your closings, you would be able to add those documents into the software. You just click upload template, find it in your computer, upload it. Once you upload it once, you never have to do it again. It'll always be in the software. And once it's in here, it can get fielded. So, and fielding is easy. You click on, you get your document pulled up. You click on edit template. So I'll do that right now real quick. So once you're in the edit template screen, you would basically click on the document. So let's just say we need a deposit that needs to go right in here on the document. I would click on all these folders here. All these folders are full of fields. So you have your buyer fields. Any information that's on the CD can get fielded onto a document. So that's literally anything from numbers, dates, addresses. So let's just say we need the total deposit to show up here. We would just click next to deposit and we would find total deposit and we just double click and click save. And that is it. Now, once I go back, that document will always show the total deposit on it automatically. As you can see here, it's showing today's date, and the total deposit that I have for this closing. Now, if I open up this document on my next closing, it'll display the deposit for that closing. So this is really just a whole document automation feature that we added into the software, where you can automate and really have all your real estate documents in one place. So that's that. Now we're going to jump on to 1099s. So through the software, you can file 1099s. It's actually done through our sister company, InfoTrack. It is $10 per 1099 that you file. And all you would do is click this submit button here, or in this case, it says resubmit because I've already submitted a 1099 for this closing. But they would charge you $10. They would file it with the IRS electronically, and mail, and also they would email your firm a copy, and they would also mail your client a copy of the 1099 as well. So that $10 covers those three different things. And from this account, you can also print substitute forms and exemption forms. So if I click on print substitute form, it just downloads a PDF. And this is completely free. So printing any of these forms is completely free. Having the account with InfoTrack that controls this is also completely free. There are just no startup costs, no monthly, nothing. Everyone could do it right now without even having an EasySoft account. You can sign up for InfoTrack, and they only charge you when you utilize their services, like 1099. So again, even for all of our customers that buy our software and don't plan on filing the 1099 through here, I still recommend having an account with InfoTrack, so that way you can print your substitute forms and your exemption forms. So now we're going to move on to title searches. I don't go into great detail about these because in my experience, especially in New York, the attorneys are not really doing the title searches. But it is a service that InfoTrack offers. So if I throw in New York and then I pick the county, it will automatically pull up all the pricing. So they always give you 4 different options depending on what you need in the title search. Obviously, the most expensive one here is going to have everything on the left side. So they do give you options on the title search. But like I said, in my experience, there's a lot of abstract companies and title companies doing the title search in New York. So now we've gone through all the tabs here. Now up here in this blue section, if you click on closing disclosure, we do provide a loan estimate form, which is mostly used by banks and lenders. We do sell our software to banks and lenders, and they're mostly interested in the loan estimate form. Most of the attorneys that we have as clients are only using the CD. They're not really doing the loan estimate form. They'll just do a preliminary CD. But one important button or tab on here is the closing information button. So if I click on that, this is where all the basic information for the closing goes. So I can put the buyer's information. I can put the deposits here on the info tab. But a lot of this information is also on the CD. So you can start with the CD. You can start your closing here. It's up to you, but you never have to put the same information in twice. So if I put the initial deposit in on the CD, it will automatically show up here, just like the total deposit. And it doesn't matter. Some people like to start their closings off on this screen, and others go directly into the CD and start plugging information. And I guess it's just a matter of preference. But this is another option here where you can plug information. So now we're going to jump back to the CD, and I'll point out that it does prorate taxes. So we'll calculate and do the tax proration for you. And then the print button, that's the most important button in the software. That is the button where you actually find the document that you're looking for and download it. And so you fill out the CD 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you ultimately decide what CD you want when it comes time to print, whether you need a seller or buyer CD. So if you click on seller CD, you do have the option down here to download it as a PDF or Microsoft Word file. So if I click on PDF, I click print, it actually downloads the document as a PDF file to the bottom left of the screen. Usually it takes about 5-6 seconds. Once it's downloaded, you can pull it up, and from this screen, this is actually where I can print it and I can save it locally to my computer as well. So again, everything you do is saved to the software, but it can also get saved as a PDF and Microsoft Word file as well. And then we do have a fourth option, and that's Dropbox. So we give you 4 different ways to save your work. And the Dropbox integration is up here in the top right under the settings tab. This is where you connect to Dropbox. And also, while we're on the settings screen, you can also save your firm's information on here as well. That way you don't have to type your name and your firm information into every single closing that you do. So just a few more things worth pointing out. On the top left here, or top right, the tools button. This is where you'll find the menu for the address book and the closing templates that I spoke about earlier. But this is also where you'll find the e-signing feature. So e-signing is also done through our sister company InfoTrack. The same free account that they have handles the title search, 1099s, and the e-signature features that they provided in our software. So you can actually upload any document into this portal, and you can send it out to get electronically signed. They will bill you $3 for each envelope that you send out to get signed. And so that's the e-signing feature. And now we're going to jump. We have this question mark here. So this is great for any new clients, anyone that's just getting into real estate closings. Any of these links here bring you to our community page where we have a bunch of articles on real estate, software, everything. There's literally hundreds of articles in here that you can find. We also provide hours of videos. So if you need help on anything, there are videos that you can sit through. Again, if you're new to real estate closings, you can certainly watch them. We also do family law software for New Jersey and New York as well. But this is good if you're new. But if you've been doing closings for a while and you need help with anything, I always just recommend calling us because we don't have any robots on staff. We answer our phones. We are in New Jersey. And you can also chat with us as well. Anytime you chat with us, it is a live person that you're going to get on the chat line. So that's pretty much all the software. Now I'm going to click on the home button real quick, and I'll point out that we do provide the HUD. So the HUD is also built into the software. But as you can see, it's the same design. We keep our designs very consistent and easy to use. So now I'm going to go back to the presentation just so you can get some of our information here. The software is $69 a month. We have a 20% discount going on for Dutchess County bar members. and we do not have any additional fees. There's no startup costs, no installation fees. It's just the $69 a month. We do offer a free 7-day trial. So before you buy anything or commit to anything, it is a 1-year subscription. So I have to mention that. But before you commit to the 1-year subscription or pay anything, you would get the chance for 7 days to use the software for free. And you can cancel for any reason within that 7 days. And the trial, there's no restrictions. So there's no watermarks, no restrictions. So you can actually do a 7-day free trial and work on a closing and print out your paperwork and hand it into the bank. Now, this is my contact information. So if anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to write them down in the Zoom meeting, or you can call me anytime. You can reach me directly at extension 1, and that is my email address as well. So Jana, I appreciate everything. If anyone has any questions, just let me know.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you guys so much.